Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the class on time. Okay, thank you. So in previous lectures, we studied about the basic definition and several important parameters to consider while designing or selecting a component, right? Particularly, if you take a diode, it is a simple uncontrolled device. Even though it is an uncontrolled device, and if you use it for multiple applications like bypass or freewheeling action, you should consider certain parameters for that particular application. So we discussed in detail about the reverse recovery characteristics. Can anyone tell me what is reverse recovery characteristics of a diode? You know the difference between normal signaling diode and power diode. The difference is the doping concentration at the drift layer that decides the power rating. Even though power rating is very high, we are considering a few parameters called reverse recovery time and the current and voltage magnitude. What is the importance of that reverse recovery characteristics? Why we need to see those characteristics from a data sheet? Can anyone tell me what is that? Just give me some hint. To avoid failure, okay. Can anyone please unmute your audio and tell me what is that? Shivaganesh or Rohit? Anyone else? What is reverse recovery time?
Sir, good morning, sir. This is
Good morning. Tell me,
Sir,
Rohit.
reverse recovery time is the time which is required for removing the charge that is stored during the forward bias.
Very good.
Like during the forward bias, some charge will be stored. So the charge should be, it should be neutralized before going into the reverse bias condition, sir.
Oh,
So
very
that
good.
time is called the reverse recovery time.
So it takes some time to comes to off state,
Yes.
right? So from
Yes.
forward conduction to forward blocking mode, it takes some time. That time is called reverse recovery time. Very good, Rohit. Thank you. So anything else you want to share about the previous class, about the reverse recovery characteristics? If you have any doubts, please ask, and then we move on to the next topic, which is more relevant to the diode characteristics. So we are going to discuss about the silicon control rectifier today. So it has a similar structure of a power diode, and we are going to see the difference and the characteristics of SCR. It is better to know the characteristics of a diode. If it is clear to you, then it is very easy to understand the characteristics of an ACR. Anything else you want to know about a diode, power diode and reverse recovery characteristics? Okay, so I switch over to another view. So these are the things we discussed in previous classes. So the doping concentration, N plus, T plus, the structure, right? Then we discussed about the data sheet and the important parameters like maximum DC reverse voltage, RMS reverse voltage, and their importance, right? So these are all the important factors we need to consider for a particular application. So I took an example of an input sine wave, and we discussed about the different instance, right? For example, instantaneous surge voltages and non-repetitive voltages that should not affect the conduction period of a diode. So we need to take care of these parameters while selecting a particular diode for a particular application. So these are the definitions we have discussed. So today, we are going to discuss about the silicon controlled rectifiers. Normally we call it as thyristors. So if you take a thyristor, it looks like a diode. So you can see this. So there is a diode, like anode and cathode, you have two terminals. Apart from these two terminals, you have one more terminal called gate. So by using this gate terminal, we can able to turn on the device, and we cannot turn off the device. So that is the drawback of a silicon controlled rectifier. We can able to turn on the device, but we cannot turn off. So we are going to discuss in detail about this problem, right? So diode has two layers, P and N layer, but in silicon controlled rectifier there are 4 layers. So it is a 4-layer device. So you have PN and PN junction. So this is P, so it is anode, and this is cathode. Sorry. So this is PN, PN. This is cathode. K. This is anode. Here you have a gate, G. Okay. If you look at the internal structure, like a diode, it has a base region which is made up of a P plus with a concentration of 10 power 19 centimeter minus 3. This is your anode. Okay, this is a base layer which has a thickness of 30 to 50 micrometer. And similarly, you have the first layer which forms a junction J1 and J2, right? So this layer has one more P layer of a concentration 10 power 17 centimeter minus 3. And the thickness of this layer is again 30 to 50. So we can able to increase the thickness of this layer, but we should maintain the concentration of this layer as 10 power 17 centimeter minus 3. So this is a P layer. Okay. So over which we are forming one more layer called forward blocking layer or drift layer, right? So it has a lower concentration of 10 power 14 centimeter minus 3. So this is called N minus layer. N minus represents lower concentration. And over which we are forming one more layer, 10 power 17 minus 3. This is P plus layer. And this is called gate. And anode is made this part. This is N plus layer. So it means higher concentration, 10 power 19, 10 power minus 3. This is called cathode. So this is your base layer, over which we are forming 4 layers, PN and PN layers with different concentration. So this layer will act as a drift layer for an ACR. Okay. So this layer has a thickness of 3200 micrometer, and again this layer has a thickness of 30 to 50 micrometer. So it forms, this layers forms three junctions. So first junction is in between this and this. So it forms a junction J1, and this is second junction J2, and again this is the third junction J3. So there are four layers. So SCR is a 4-layer, 3-terminal and 3-junction device. The 4 layers are PN and PN, 3 terminals are anode, cathode and gate, and 3 junctions are J1 and J2 and J3. And we need to look at the forward and reverse characteristics of this SCR, right? During forward bias condition, your anode. So there are 4 layers, PN, PN. It forms a junction J1, J2 and J3. During forward bias, your anode is connected to the positive terminal of the source, and the cathode is connected to a negative terminal of the source. So you have holes at the P layer and electrons at the N layer. If you look at the connection for this source, for this forward bias connection, only this junction J1 and J3 are in forward bias connection. If you look at this structure, the P is connected to positive, so this is forward bias with reference to the source. So these junction J1 is forward biased, and similarly this layer, and junction J3 is also in forward bias condition. So J3 is also in forward bias condition. But the junction J2 is reverse biased with respect to the source. So because you have P and N, which is reverse biased due to the source. So it blocks the current flow during a forward bias condition. So without eliminating this depletion layer, we cannot make the SCR to conduct. So in order to make the device into active state, we are connecting one more external source called gate. Gate voltage is connected. It drives a gate current in between these two layers. If you look at this layer, that is now J2 is in reverse bias condition. If you connect an external source VG, gate voltage, it drives a current and it makes the electrons flow in this layer as well as this layer, because for this source, this layer P and N will become positive, and similarly this layer P and N will become positive. Already this junction is in forward bias conditions. J3 is in forward bias condition and J1 is forward bias condition due to the source. Only thing is you need to remove this barrier. In order to remove this barrier, normally we call it as a barrier voltage. We are applying an external supply, got gate voltage, that will provide an excess electrons and holes that will eliminate this barrier. So normally what we call it is a 0.7 volt or 0.6 volt as a barrier voltage. That voltage is applied, or a minimum of 2 volt, to make the device to conduct. Okay, so when we apply a gate voltage, gate voltage that drives a gate current that eliminates the barrier. So the junction J2 becomes forward bias. Okay. Once the J2 is forward bias, the entire region, the J1, J2 and J3 starts to conduct, right? So as a whole, these three layers will act as an N layer because it starts to conduct due to external supply, gate voltage. So all the three layers starts to conduct. So it will act as an N layer. So you have one P layer and one layer after conduction. Okay. So now the diode, now the SCR starts to conduct. Okay. So up to, if you draw the VA characteristics of this SCR, you have anode cathode voltage, also known as your supply voltage. When you increase anode cathode voltage without gate, there is no conduction. You have a minimum amount of leakage current due to forward bias voltage or anode cathode voltage. And after this, if you apply a gate voltage and that drives a gate current, and at a particular point, if the barrier is, if the gate voltage is greater than your barrier voltage, the required barrier voltage of the device, then it starts to conduct. There is a sudden rise in your current, in the forward conduction current. So if you compare this VA characteristics with diode, you have what? A linear curve, right? Like this. So this is your anode cathode voltage, this is your forward current. But here we are controlling the on time of a device using an external gate voltage and gate current. So this is for gate current 1. Similarly, if you change the gate voltage magnitude and current magnitude, your turn on time period of the device gets increases. So this turn on time indicates higher gate current. Similarly, you can able to change the turn on time by fixing a different gate current. So here Ig3 is always greater than Ig2 and greater than Ig1. So when you change the gate current, so if you increase the gate current to the higher level, the turn on time of the device gets increases. And this is called forward conduction characteristics of SCR. Right? Are you clear with this? So it looks like a diode, but we are controlling the on time, on process of a diode using a gate current. Okay. Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts? Okay. So I said there is a problem with the SCR turn off process, right? So consider a case, right? If you have added an external source to make the device to conduct. Now the SCR is in conduction. Even though if you remove this gate voltage, the device will not comes to off due to high current, because now the entire source current is flowing in this junction, right? Because of the forward bias condition. The source current is flowing through junction J1, J2 and J3. So due to this excess current at the junction J1, J2 and J3, even though if you remove this external gate voltage, the device will not turn off. So in order to control the device, we need to reverse the supply. Okay, so to turn off the device, we need to connect a cathode to a positive terminal and anode to a negative terminal of a supply. So what will happen when you connect a negative to anode and positive to cathode? Here you have excess holes, here you have electrons, right? All the three layers are filled up with electrons. This layer have an excess holes, right? And this negative terminal of a supply will attract excess holes, and these electrons are attracted by holes of your supply. So it will increase the junction width, so it will blocks the flow of current in the SCR. So this is the method you have to use to turn off the device. So it is very difficult, isn't it? So if you have only the DC source and you made the device to conduct using an external gate supply, then now your device is in conduction. And if you want to stop the device, that is very difficult. And if you remove the gate, the device should turn off. Like a transistor, you are applying a base current, right? When you apply a base current, it should turn on. It will turn on. When you remove it, it will turn off. But in case of a silicon controlled rectifier, it will not happen. So once it is triggered, it will be in conduction throughout the process. If you want to turn off the device, you have to change the polarity if it is a DC source. So if it is a DC source, you have to reverse the polarity of a supply and you can be able to turn off the device. So that is the major drawback of an SCR. Okay, so during reverse bias, you can able to apply a reverse voltage. Up to this instant, the device has a small leakage current. This is a small leakage current. And if it goes beyond the rating, the breakdown will occur. Already you know about the avalanche breakdown. During reverse bias condition, it starts to conduct. It exceeds the limit and it breaks the junction due to excess holes and electrons. So the device starts to conduct. So this is the reverse characteristics of an SCR. Okay. So if you want to turn off the device, particularly an SCR, you need to force the device to turn off. Okay. And there are several ways, and one way is to change the polarity of a supply. Okay. From this discussion, can you able to suggest a few more methods to turn off? You have a diode, you have an SCR, and you have a source as a DC source. Now you have turned on the device, and for example, if you are running a DC motor through an SCR, right? In such a case, you are using the device SCR as a switch. Okay, there are two sources. You have a DC source and you have a battery. Okay, so we have positive and positive, and now we are using this thyristor as a switch. This is your source, this is your battery. There are two sources, right? If you apply gate voltage, the device will turn on. Right? If you apply a gate voltage of 5 volt, it will turn on. So it will be in conduction. It will charge the battery. And if you remove the voltage, gate voltage to 0, or if you make the gate voltage into 0, the device should turn off because this is a switch. But due to this excess current flow, it will not turn off. And how do you make the device to turn off? The one way is to reverse the polarity. I already mentioned. Do you have any other methods to turn off the device? The methods to turn off SCR. Somebody said it by using an inductor we can turn off. And Bharanidharan said it by using a diode. So any other suggestions from your side? By using LC circuit. Very good. Then anything else? By using a capacitor. Okay. Then okay. So we can use 3 different devices, passive elements like R, C and D, resistor, capacitor and diode. You can connect diode in anti-parallel direction to avoid the bypass of source current. So it blocks current during the conduction. And you can connect a resistor in series or in parallel. So like this. So during forward bias condition, when the gate voltage is applied, the device will be in conduction. So during that time, the diode will block the current flow, right? There is no current will flow through the circuit. Instead, the current will flow through this and it will charge the battery, as well as it stores the charges in the capacitor in this direction. Correct? So now the capacitor has some voltage magnitude, say for example, it is Vc. So this resistor is a current limiting resistor to avoid excess current flow through this path. Okay, so this is called current limiting resistor, and the diode will allows the flow of current. So it completes the loop. Okay, now you have a voltage across the capacitor which is stored. Okay, when you remove the gate voltage, usually the device will not turn off, but due to this additional circuit, RCD circuit, there is a charge, there is a voltage across the capacitor, and almost you have one more voltage source which is opposite to this source, right? There are 2 sources, Vc and battery voltage Vb, both will add up and that will block the current flow, right? So here there are 2 voltage sources. If you leave Vb, you can take Vc. So here you have 2 sources, battery voltage as well as a capacitor voltage. Both are reversed, right? So that will greater than this capacitor voltage and battery voltage is greater than your source. So this reverse biased voltage will block the current flow through the SCR, and it will make the SCR to stop. So this process, this turn off process is called commutation. Okay. So the process of reversing the current direction, or the process of making the device to turn off, is called what? Commutation. So the SCR, the problem with the SCR is when you apply supply voltage, external gate voltage, it will turn on. And if you remove the gate voltage during the forward conduction, it will not turn off. So it requires additional circuit to turn off. So we calling it as a forced commutation device. So we need to force the SCR to turn off. So for that forced commutation process, you need a support from a different active and passive devices like R, C, and D. Are you clear? So in most of the converter application, we are going to use SCR as a device. For power electronics based study, the SCR is a simple and most powerful device. We can use it for high current applications and high frequency application. But the problem with that device is what? The turn off process. The commutation of an SCR is poor, right? So that we need to take care of while designing a converter circuit. Okay. Any doubts, or do you have any questions? Please ask. Do you have any doubts till now? Okay, once again I repeat, and then we get back to the another topic, that is dynamic characteristics of an SCR. We start with the turn on dynamic characteristics, and then next class we discuss about the turn off characteristics. Okay. So far we discussed about the structure. So silicon controlled rectifier is a 4-layer, 3-terminal and 3-junction device. So this layer is called depletion layer or drift layer, which decides the power rating of the device. So it has lightly doped N- layer, which has a concentration of 10 power 14 centimeter minus 3. So during forward bias condition, when your supply voltage is connected to anode and negative is connected to cathode, without gate voltage, junction J1 and J3 is in forward bias condition, and J2 is in reverse bias condition because it has P and N layer. For this source, these two layers are reverse biased. In order to make the device into active, you need to apply an external source. So this barrier has to be reduced. So in order to avoid this barrier, overcome this barrier, that is junction J2, we are applying an external voltage. If this gate voltage is greater than the barrier voltage of this device, it allows the electrons and holes flow in this layer. So it makes the device to conduct, because the electron flow will happen during this J2 as well as J3 because of external gate voltage. The device starts to conduct. So it carries a maximum amount of current through all the layers. So J1, J2, J3, all the 3 layers, N, P, N will act as an N layer because it starts to conduct. This layer starts to share an electrons from this and this layers. So you have, after conduction, you have one P layer and one N layer. Because of this reason, even though if you remove gate voltage, the device will not stop conducting. Okay, so in order to avoid this situation, after removing the gate voltage, the device will not turn off. In order to avoid this, you have to reverse the supply voltage magnitude. So you are reversing the supply voltage magnitude where anode is connected to negative and cathode is connected to positive. So the excess holes are attracted towards an active terminal, and similarly electrons are attracted towards a positive terminal. So it increases the depletion layer width, and finally the device stop conducting. Okay, so this is the one way of commutating the device, that is turning off the device. The other ways are by using external devices like resistor, capacitor and diode combination. We can able to turn off the device. This is called forced commutation. During forward conduction, we are storing some energy, that is voltage, across the device called capacitor. And when you remove the gate voltage, this voltage is reverse biased and it makes the device to turn off. This is called forced commutation. By using external devices, we are forcing the device to turn off. So if you look at the VI characteristics, it looks like a diode. The thing is, the gate current which we are applying will alter the on and off time period. So if you have a lower and enough gate current, the device will turn on for the same voltage, VAK, right? This is the forward breakover voltage of the device, but we can able to alter the quick turn on process of the device. So IG1 is 1 gate current, and if you increase it further to IG2, the turn on process may happen faster rate. Similarly, IG3, it goes to on for a higher rate. So here the IG decides the turn on time period of the device. Okay, so this is for forward bias condition. So during reverse bias, it looks like a diode, and there is no need to apply a gate, because in reverse bias the device should not conduct. And even though if you remove the gate and if you reverse the supply voltage magnitude, there is a small amount of leakage current. The electrons hole sharing happens in all the 3 junctions, and that is called leakage current, reverse leakage current. And at one particular point, the device starts to conduct, because the excess amount of electrons and holes will break those layers. So finally the device starts to conduct. This is called avalanche breakdown. The voltage at which the reverse conduction will happen is called avalanche breakdown. Okay, so this is all about the structure of an SCR and the VI characteristics and the problems in the SCR. Okay, so now we need to discuss about the dynamic characteristics, also known as switching characteristics of an SCR. So dynamic characteristics or switching characteristics of an SCR. Okay, so we are discussing about the turn on process. So the turn on process of an SCR. So normally we apply a gate voltage of constant magnitude. Say for example, a 5 volt. The constant 5 volt is applied across the gate terminal, gate and cathode terminal. Okay, so when you apply this voltage, your gate current starts to increase from 0 to max. So I request all of you, please take a note. So this is very difficult when it comes to an explaining in examination. So it is very difficult to understand the graph. So I request all of you to take a note. Okay, so when you apply a gate voltage, your gate current will increase from 0 to the maximum level. This is the 0 and this is your gate current Ig, and this gate current gradually increases when it reaches 0.9, that is 90% of your gate current. And initially you have an anode voltage, anode cathode voltage. Initially you have a higher anode cathode voltage. Okay. Initially you have, this is your device. Okay. And this is your source, VAK, and we call it as anode voltage. And you can connect a load or a load. Here you are applying an external source called gate voltage. It can be limited by using a gate resistance, limiting resistor. So this is your circuit, right? When you apply this gate voltage, the device starts to conduct. When you apply this gate voltage, the current Ig will start flowing in the device. That makes the device to conduct. And you have an anode voltage of some magnitude, say for example 12 volt. So up to this nothing will happen because your gate current starts increasing from 0 to 90% of its value, right? The requirement is somewhat higher, so you have to fix the required gate current to turn on the device. So now the gate current is reached almost 90% of its value, right? Up to this nothing is happening, right? After this point, further your gate voltage is maintained constant and your gate current increases to the maximum level, right? So it represents your device starts to conduct above the 90% of gate current. Your device starts to conduct. So you are injecting gate current and your device starts to conduct. So it means you have an anode current, say for example 10% of anode current. So this represents the leakage current. Leakage current. So it is 0.1%, and after this time period, this current starts to increase. So if the forward direction current, anode current starts increasing, then your anode voltage starts to decrease. Okay, so like this, the transition will occur. So the transition from the turn off to turn on is called transition time. The time taken by a device from turn off to turn on is called what? Transition time. And this transition time consists of 3 different time periods. One is delay time, TD, and rise time, TR, and one more time called spread over time called TP. Okay, so here from 0 to this instant up to 90% nothing is happening. So after that you have a turn on process. So we are talking about turn on process. After this instant you have a delay time, you have a rise time, and you have a spread over time. Okay. Now we need to define what is delay time, what is rise time, what is spread over time. Okay. So if you look at this graph, so this defines, the red color line defines the anode voltage, and this blue color line defines the anode current. And during turn on, that is transition period, how your voltage and current magnitude changes. So based on the value, we can be able to define the delay time, rise time, and spread over time of the device. Okay. Just look at this time period alone, delay time. Now we have to define what is delay time. Okay. So during a delay time, your gate current reaches almost 90%. So I am defining it as 0.9 times of your gate current. And your anode current reaches a 0.1, that is 10% of its value, right? And your anode voltage starts to decrease. It falls from the maximum value to 90%. So during this time period, if you look at this particular time period, delay time, your gate current increases and it reaches 90% of its value, and your anode current reaches 0.1 and above, and your anode voltage starts to decrease from maximum value to 0.9 of VA. So this is called delay time. So the time taken by an SCR to fall from the maximum value of your anode voltage to 90% of your anode voltage. There is a delay. There is a transition delay from the actual off state to on state. So that is why we are calling it as delay. So the time taken by a device to reaches its maximum value. So gate current reaches maximum, the anode current is still minimum, and your anode voltage starts to decrease from maximum to 90% of its value. Okay, so anybody having doubts in this? Hello, please respond. If anybody having doubts, in this delay time? Okay. Okay, thank you. So next one is rise time of the device. Okay. So if you look at the curve, now your gate current is constant, almost constant. The required gate current of the device is given. So your gate current is almost constant. It is higher than 90% of its value, right? So now the device starts to conduct. If it starts to conduct, the voltage across the device, VAK, starts to decrease. So now in delay time, it is 90%. Now it is settled to some 10%, right? So during rise time of the device, your anode current increases from 0.1 to the maximum, that is 90% of your anode current, and your anode voltage falls from 90% to 0.1%, that is 10%. Okay, so rise time is nothing but your anode current rise from 0.1 IA to the maximum of 0.9 IA, and your anode voltage falls from 0.9 VA to 0.1 VA. VA is nothing but anode voltage, IA is anode current. Here your gate current is constant and which is maximum. So the time taken by a SCR to fall from the anode voltage of 0.9 VA to 0.1 VA, and the current rises from anode current rises from 0.1 IA to 0.9 IA is called rise time of a device. Okay, the last one is spread over time. So during spread over time, your anode voltage remains constant. So during this time period, this is called spread out time TP. During this time, your anode voltage remains constant, and your anode current settles at the maximum value. So this is the maximum current. This is your maximum anode current, because here you have a fixed R load. So the current is almost constant during this time period, so it is always constant. So your anode current reaches the maximum of IA, and anode voltage falls from 0.1 VA to the minimum level. So the minimum level is nothing but the junction voltage, say for example 0.7 volt or 0.6 volt or 2 volt for higher rating devices. Okay, so the minimum voltage, that is voltage drop across the device, will appear during spread over time. So this defines the drop across the device, and this time period shows the leakage current of the device. So this is called turn on process of the device. So now we are applying a gate voltage from 0 to the maximum level. Your gate current starts increasing from 0 to max. Initially it's from 0 to 90%, nothing will happen. After this point, your gate current is higher, your device starts to conduct. So the time taken by a device to make the anode voltage to fall from maximum to 90%, and your anode current from 0.1 to 0.9. Okay, so after that, rise time will occur. So your current, anode current will increase from 0.1 to 90%, sorry, 0.9 value, and your anode voltage reduced to 0.1, that is 10%. During spread over time, you may have a constant maximum anode current because of a fixed load, and you may have a small voltage drop across the device. So if you measure the voltage during turn on time, you may have a small voltage drop across the device. Okay, because it will act as a short circuit. Once the device is in conduction, it starts to conduct. Only the current magnitude is high and the voltage across the device is low, because it acts as a switch, right? So during open, your anode cathode voltage is higher, there is no current, IA is 0. During short circuit, during conduction, there is a small voltage across the device, very small, and the current magnitude is very high. So this is all about the turn on process, the turn on transition time of an SCR. Okay, so in next class we may discuss about the turn off dynamics, turn off characteristics of an SCR, how it differs from a turn on process, because already we mentioned about the drawbacks of an SCR, right? So once it is in conduction, we cannot turn off the device. We may not turn off the device due to its higher current. So we may discuss the turn off process in next class. So before coming into the next class, please go through this and practice this graph in your notebook and try to find out some additional information from the data sheet. Take any one of the one data sheet of an SCR and try to compare all the parameters discussed so far and correlate with this graph and then come back to the next class. So we will discuss the turn off process in next class. Okay. So if anybody having doubt, please ask and then we will wind up. So is anybody having a doubts about the VI characteristics and turn on dynamics of an SCR? Okay, I just need an attendance. Wait a second, I will note down. Abhishek irkara? Abhishek? Aditya?
Present,
Okay,
sir.
right. Ajay Krishna?
Present, sir.
Akshay Dipti?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anirudh?
Present, sir.
Aravind?
Present, sir. He is
Okay.
present, sir.
Arun Kumar?
Present, sir.
Okay. Bhuvaneshwari?
Present, sir.
Chandana? Chandani?
Present, sir.
Darshana?
Present, sir.
Devaprasad? Okay. Gopi Anand?
Present, sir.
Gopinath?
Yes, sir.
Harshini?
Present,
Okay. Aishwarya?
Present, sir.
Jai Praveen Khanna?
Present,
Janani
sir.
K? Janani K? Janani R?
Present, sir.
Okay.
Present, sir.
Yorchini?
Present, sir.
Okay. Kavi Kumaran?
Present, sir.
Kishore? Kolapan?
Present, sir.
Krishna Vasan?
Present, sir.
Lakshmi Narasimhan? Lingesh?
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
Madhugopal?
Present, sir.
Maulidharan?
Present, sir.
Narmada?
Present, sir.
Nikhil? Okay. Nitish Raghav?
Present, sir.
Vedika? Parthiban?
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
Pavitra? Pradeep?
Present, sir.
Okay. Prashant? Rohit Aditya?
Present, sir.
Salomia? Samrita?
Present, sir.
Kanchana?
Present, sir.
Sangavi? Okay. Satya M?
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Satya R?
Present, sir.
Selva T? Selva? Shiva.
Present, sir.
Okay. Shivaganesh. 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 Shyam Sudan. Shyam Sudan. Okay. Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi.
Present, sir.
Okay. Sneha.
Present, sir.
Sobhya Banu.
Present, sir.
Sudan.
Present, sir.
Tangaraju Karnesh. Tangaraju Karnesh. 56. Tenkavi.
Present, sir.
Okay. Uma Maheshwaran.
Present, sir.
Vikas.
Present, sir.
Vishwa. Vishwa. Okay. Bharani Krishna.
Present, sir.
Bharat Kumar.
Present, sir.
Bharani Dharan.
Present, sir.
Mohan Priya.
Present, sir.
Prakash.
Present, sir.
Santosh Kumar.
Present, sir.
Swatika. Swatika. Tamil Chelvan. Tamil Chelvan. Vishnu.
Present, sir.
Okay. So, ரொம்ப நாளுக்கு அப்புறம் உங்க வாய்ஸ் எல்லாம் கேட்கிறேன். அதான் இருக்கீங்களான்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்காக தான். தேங்க்யூ. நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் பார்க்கலாம்ப்பா. தேங்க்யூப்பா. தேங்க்யூ. ஸோ வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி அந்த கேரக்டரிஸ்டிக் கொஞ்சம் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிட்டு வாங்க. டேட்டா ஷீட்டோட கொஞ்சம் கம்பேர் பண்ணி கொஞ்சம் டீடைல்ஸ் எல்லாம் கலெக்ட் பண்ணி வைங்க. ஸோ தட் வில் பி ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல் while செலக்டிங் a component. ஓகேப்பா? சரிப்பா, நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் பார்க்கலாம். தேங்க்யூ. தேங்க்யூப்பா. தேங்க்யூ.